Hello everybody, my name is Kyra and this is 21 Interviews to Empower You. We are here with the Sean Johnson, Mr. Butterbow, singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Can you tell the world a little bit about you?
You said it. Singer-songwriter, lover of all things chicken wings and Netflix. So yeah.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Okay, well let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so are you off the market or on the market?
I am on the market.
Okay.
I am on the market to the highest bidder. Whoever bidding, I'm open. Like, just get it. So yeah.
I know that's right. So, what have you learned in your time of singleness?
In my time of singleness, I have learned to value this time, to not look at it as this is less than. Like this season of being single, like as if this is the alternative, the lower alternative to being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we look at being single as a negative, look at it as the diet version of whatever life is supposed to be. But that's not the case. Like I've learned to enjoy what being single is. To be able to come home or to come and go as I please. Like at the end of this month I'm going to Denver, and it's like it was a last minute trip that I planned, but it's like I didn't have to consult with anybody. I was like, all right, I want to go. So I'm going. And it's just that freedom and being able to enjoy that and not looking at this as just, man, I'm like longing to be in another season, but just enjoying the season that I'm in. Like that's probably been the biggest takeaway from being single. Not looking at like I'm afflicted with the disease and everything. Like this is okay. Like to be single and to enjoy all that comes with it. Because once I'm not single anymore, part of me is probably gonna miss being single. So it's like enjoy it while I have it, and then when I'm in a relationship, enjoy all the benefits that come with that, but enjoy the benefits that come with this also. So yeah, that's been the biggest thing. So yeah.
So what was your longest relationship and why did it work?
Longest relationship that I had was 4 years. One of the big reasons that it did not work and ended marriage, like we were actually going towards that, it had come up in conversation, we were moving in that direction. But the biggest thing that happened was it was a long distance relationship. And we grew as people, but we grew separately. Like not necessarily apart, but we grew separately. So whenever we would come back together, I would have to relearn who she was. And because there was not good communication between us, like any issue that we had got multiplied times 10 just over that time apart. So whenever we did come together, we spent most of that time trying to hash out these issues instead of just enjoying each other's company. So it was a mixture of things, but the biggest thing was just the lack of communication and the distance. Just over time, it just kind of eroded the friendship and relationship that we had. So yeah, 4 years. 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
So I know that you said that y'all were, talking about marriage and working towards it. So like, what are your views about marriage and how do you feel about it?
I want to get married, yeah. I feel like I'm I'm the type of guy, like, I'm not meant to be a player. Like that's never been me. I've never been that guy. Like I am a one-woman man. Like I want to be in a relationship. I want to be able to spoil that person. I'm very affectionate. Like I said this last night. I'm a hopeless romantic, but I'm kind of jaded at this point. Like the older I get, the more jaded I am. But like I still, at my core, I am a hopeless romantic. So it's like I want to get married. I want to have a family. Like that's yeah. I love it.
Do you know what your love language is?
So I think like most men, physical touch, words of affirmation. Yeah, probably those two. Yeah, physical touch and words of affirmation.
Has it been helpful knowing that?
Yes. So that was something in my last relationship. I think the issue now is just figuring out how to communicate that in a relationship without it being put off as a demand. It's like, all right, you have to love me this way. But just kind of expressing this and letting her know, like, this is how I receive love, and letting her figure it out. And letting her figure out how she wants to display that. But just letting her know, like, this is how I receive love. However you want to present that to me, I'm open to it. But like, this is what works for me. So yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, so what's keeping you single?
What is keeping me single? That's if you ask my friends, they would say I'm picky, but I don't believe that. I don't think I'm picky. I think what has kept me single right now in this season is I don't want to give up my singlehood. I don't want to I hate saying settle because that makes it seem like I'm above someone or that that's still a human being, and they should be viewed as that. So it's like I'm not better than anybody else, but I think what's keeping me single now is I haven't found anything that's worth giving up my singlehood yet. Like, so it's just not worth it. So until that comes along, then there'll be a changeover. But until then, I just haven't found anything worth it. So.
And I feel like when people who have settled, like they'll tell you your standards are too high, or they'll tell you that because it's like that's what they did. But it's like at the end of the day, like God knows the desires of my heart, so He's gonna give me what I want. So there's nothing wrong for me to ask what I want. When you wanted a car, you said you want this, this, and this, and this.
Big
and
facts.
so a spouse is just that important. So if I want this,
if not, if more,
definitely more, definitely more important.
So it's like I look at it like this, this is a decision for life for me. Like I don't believe in divorce, so. But so if I marry somebody, this is probably, as a man, the most important decision that I'm going to make in my life. So I don't want to rush into that or just settle for something just because I'm lonely. So it's like I take this very serious. So if I'm going to marry somebody or even pursue a relationship, like it has to be worth it. Like I don't want to just give up my singleness just because this is an important decision. So it's like if I'm going to make this decision, it's got to be worth it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So being in the music industry, has it like I was gonna call them, young women called vultures, but like have you dealt with how do you deal with that, and have you dealt with that?
Yes. So I've been in denial for most of my career that I had groupies, but I just had to kind of come to a place where it's like, all right, they are kind of out there. But for me, I think I haven't had to deal with it in the sense like resisting temptation, because like I don't put myself in that position to even to have to deal with that. So even when I travel on the road, I'm either with somebody or I'm to the event and back to the hotel, and that's it. So I haven't made a connection between there. So it's like I'm just at the hotel going to sleep. So I am aware of it. Most of the action goes down in the DMs, like trying to deflect and deal with this and stuff like that. But for the most part, I haven't had to deal with it one-on-one, face-to-face, anything like that. So I've been able to keep a safe distance, just keeping those boundaries. So, yeah. Amen, indeed.
What would you tell young men that are, I'll say, in ministry or in music, who are Christians or not even Christians, just young men who are pursuing music, and what advice would you give them about relationships and how to
find someone who understands, I don't want to be too churchy, but understands the calling, what it is you're pursuing, like music, because a lot of times people say that they understand the lifestyle that the artist has, but like when they get into it, they start to realize, all right, this isn't what I like. I don't like this, but it's like this is my life. Like this is my livelihood. For me, it's my livelihood. So it's like sometimes I have to make concessions in this area, or go here for a week, or go here for a couple of days. And when you're in a relationship, sometimes that can kind of ruffle some feathers, like when that person's not around. So I think the biggest thing is communicating up front, like this is my life, this is what I do. But even on the flip side of that, being open to even accommodating this person, compromising and saying, all right, I'm willing to give up this or give up that, or to stay home for this. Like I won't leave home unless I'm bringing such and such back. So I think that's important. Just not being so stubborn in the sense like this is my life, either get down or lay down, but being open and willing to say, all right, I'm willing to compromise here, but this is my life. Like either you're on board or you're not. Like this, are you willing to ride? Let's go get it. But if not, then keep it pushing. But yeah, just communicating the fact that like this is my life. Are you willing, and not holding back and saying, hey, if you're insecure, like I do get attention. So it's like having those open, honest conversations. Like this may present itself. How do you handle that? Like, are you I'm not going to give you a reason to be insecure, but are you an insecure person in that sense? But yeah.
Earlier you were saying how you go straight home and how you don't put yourself in situations to deal with temptation. So why is that important?
A big part of it is my faith and being practicing celibacy. I am a virgin. I am waiting to marriage or for marriage. But that's important to me, especially at this age. The older I get, the more important it becomes. Like I've waited this long, I don't want to just throw it away just willy-nilly. So it's like that's important to me. That was something as a young man, as a young Christian, that I made a decision. I'm going to wait till I get married. Now at the time, it was really easy to make that decision. The older I've gotten, it's gotten harder, but God, there is grace and help us indeed. But God has been gracious, and I've been intentional about not putting myself in positions. Like I had some close calls along the way, but by God's grace, I've been able to last this long. So yeah, that is one of the big reasons. Like I think it is, especially now that the word is out there, like people know that's a part of my ministry that I do preach waiting till marriage. Not preach. I am an advocate for waiting till marriage. But since they know that, like I have to uphold a certain standard. So it's like I don't want to derail anybody else's walk or cause any hindrance to anybody else. So it's like I have to walk a certain way, and part of that is not putting myself in compromising positions, and not taking something from someone else that, especially if it's not somebody I'm married to. Like I'm very big on that. So yeah, she don't belong to me. So yeah.
Period.
So yeah, period.
So, yeah. And I think that's really awesome. Like congratulations because like
pray for me.
Help us all. But I think that we like now it's so much of our culture to just I mean everybody's doing it. Who ain't doing it?
No
and
facts,
so it makes it harder, but it's still like we have to realize the value in it. We have to realize the value in keeping ourselves and realize what we're giving away when we do that.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, it has not been easy, but talking to other people, like I don't think very few people will say like that they're glad that they gave their virginity away. Like most people, it's like I wish I would have waited. So knowing that, like especially at this point, it's like I don't want to have that regret. Or there's a lot that comes with that. Just having conversations with my friends, family, and stuff like that. Like there's a lot. Like losing that you can't get that back. Like so this is a precious gift. Even like we talk about that in the sense of looking at it as a precious gift for women, but it's also the same thing for men. Like this is a precious gift that we have. Right. So it's like to view it like that. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. So yeah.
Okay, so how did you get started in music?
So I started in 2005. I was in the Air Force at the time. A co-worker of mine knew that I sang. I was just walking around the shop singing all the time, singing for promotion ceremonies and things like that. He started taking an audio engineering class, and he invited me. He's like, hey, I know you sing. I need somebody to sing and record them. Just come in. I get a grade. You get a professionally recorded song. So I went to the studio. We laid down the song. I think I sung like a Donnie McClurkin song or something like that. But we did that. But they kept letting us come back. So I was like, let me just use this opportunity I had some ideas, some melodies or something. I had some beats from a friend of mine. So let me just try to record something original. So I went in there, laid that down, came back the next week, laid something else down. But they kept letting us come back for free. By the time I was done, I had almost a full album done for free. So I took that album, let some friends hear it. And the reception that I got back from it just kind of encouraged me. I was like, all right, I have a story to tell. I have something to say. I have a sound. I have a voice. Let me just see where this goes. From there, I ended up meeting my mentor, Gregory Coleman. Shout out to Hetty. And he started some outreach programs. So he just brought me on this wing. It's like, hey, wherever I go, I'm taking you. So I would just open up with a song or something like that. He ended up starting like an event called We Tell Stories, Poetry Night. That by far was the most important thing that happened in my career because it gave me a consistent platform. It allowed me to hone my craft in front of an audience and allowed me to build my audience. So people would see me at that event, they'd invite me to their church, somebody see me there, invite me to another event, and it just started steamrolling from there. And here I am, this is 14, 15 years later, and God is still opening doors. Like, and it's just, honestly, it wasn't something that I pursued. Like, I always had a passion for music and singing, but God just really, He saw the desires of my heart, something I never even expressed, but He saw the desires of my heart and just started opening doors for me. And 15 years later, here I am, So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, no, God is good, man. He definitely is good. So.
What's one of your, well, I know it's like probably hard to have a favorite, but what's one of your favorite projects?
Favorite projects, probably the last one, Days Like This, because it came out of, I always say each album, I live each album, like I experience each album. And that album, like I had to live that album, and it's just talking about relationships and heartbreak from a Christian perspective. And it's something we don't really talk about a lot, especially in that lane. So I feel like that to me was my most important album. It was my realest album, my most important album, because like it came from a real place. And it was right after I had broken up, ended the 4-year relationship, and just the lessons that I had learned from that, and just the heartbreak, processing all of that. Everything went into that album, and it's just, you look at some of the songs on there, it's like Save Me, Daydreaming, Love Song. So it's like these were real emotions that I had, and I just put them in a song form, and it's just, yeah, that's my favorite project. So
I think, well, that's really unique, like how you started. It's like,
that,
I would have never imagined that. I would have thought, like, you would have said, like, oh, I've been writing songs since I was 5 years old. I knew I was going to be a singer. Like,
well, the funny thing is, so I mean, growing up, I had groups with my cousins and stuff like that, and we sang, but like, as you get older, like, that dream, reality hits, and it's like, all right, I need to get a job. Yeah. So it's like, that dream just kind of faded, but God in His grace, He brought it back, so yeah.
So where's the furthest your music has taken you?
London. Wow. I went to London. The first time I went was 2012, and the entire time I was there, I was just blown away because like I couldn't get over the fact I had recorded this music in my room, and here I am thousands of miles away singing this music for people who I've never met, and they knew the music, and it's just like, that blew my mind. It's like, y'all have no idea. I'm really not as big as y'all think I am. Like, but y'all rocking with me, so I'm rocking with it. So, but that's the furthest, and like honestly, like the reception that I get over there is just, it's amazing, man. And I've been now 3 years in a row. So 2012 was the first time, and then starting in 2017, I've been every year since then.
Wow.
So yeah, man, it's just, and just to see the growth, and this last time was just amazing. So. So matter of fact, the girl who plays Shuri, Shuri in Black Panther?
Yes.
She came to my show. Like she knew who I was, and like that really blew my mind. It's like, do you know who you are? Like, and she came. She took time to come to my show. It was just like that was my moment in 2019. Easy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But London, that's the furthest.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, hopefully married with a kid, maybe 2, we'll see. But music-wise, where do I see myself in 10 years? I would like to be in a position where I'm opening doors and providing platforms for other artists. Like that's honestly, in 10 years, I'll be 48, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, But yeah, so I would, at that age, I would definitely like to be in a position where I'm providing opportunities, like somebody provided for me. Like that's one thing I've always been big on. Like I didn't get here by myself, so it's like I had help, and I want to be that for somebody else. So it's like I want to be able to provide platforms, advice, and things like that. So yeah, that's what I want to be doing in 10 years. So,
yeah. What is something that you wish you would have known, or wish somebody would have told you before you got started?
I wish somebody would have told me to focus on your branding. I wish I could go back and really have like a seamless branding throughout my entire career. That was one thing I did not pay attention to, whether it was from what I dress to what I say or even how I present my art. Like the music was never in question. Like the music was always what it was. I felt it was good and quality music. But sometimes that's not enough, or especially in this industry, that's not enough. You can't just have a talent and good music. Like you have to be able to present it to people in a way that they gravitate towards. So I wish somebody would have told me, do not put on this Kango, do not rock these shirt suits. So it's like, but we live and you learn. Like a lot of times what happens is when they get to a certain point, they erase the old history, like they delete all the stuff on their Twitter or Instagram and try to present, a more clean and polished look. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna leave it up there. Like this was my journey. I want y'all to be able to see where I started and where I am now. But I do wish I had paid more attention to my branding. So yeah. Yes, indeed.
I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank y'all, man. This is dope. Thank y'all, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for watching. Remember to check out Sean Johnson music on all digital platforms. Absolutely. Check out Single, Saved, and Growing. Thank you for letting us serve you today. This is 21 Interviews to Empower You. Peace.